This is why Rees-Mogg thinks freedom of speech is under threat at English universities. Tory MP Jacob Rees-Mogg accused the Charity Commission of being behind some of the barriers to freedom of speech English universities face. Speaking at the Human Rights Committee's meeting today, Mr. Rees-Mogg claimed the Charity Commission threatened student unions with their charitable status when deciding which speakers they can or cannot invite to campus. He said, "I'm a trustee of the Oxford Union and we have regular discussions about freedom of speech because the Charity Commission can get complaints about the people who are invited. I am much more worried about the Charity Commission saying that it's against the charitable objective to invite somebody with controversial views than I am about the students. The students like to push the boundaries of freedom of speech, but there are other places that try and stop it. We have had to develop detailed policies for the sake of the Charity Commission as to who the students are allowed to invite. This to my mind is deeply objectable. I don't think it's the business of the Charity Commission, I think it's the matter of the routine law. If we invite people who break the law, then we should certainly get into trouble, but if we invite people, whatever their views, who don't break the law, I never thought it was the business of the Charity Commission. But we are worried for our charitable status and we have to get along with the requirements they make." The Tory MP was giving evidence to the committee about a recent incident it was involved in at a university meeting. Mr. Rees-Mogg was invited to give a speech at a university in Bristol when he was confronted by masked protesters barging in the room to object to his right to speak. The incident sparked issues of freedom of speech in universities and was addressed by the Human Rights Committee in Parliament today. A Charity Commission spokeswoman replied to Mr. Rees-Mogg's accusations. She said, "Many students' unions are charities and are therefore bound by specific requirements under charity law. These legal requirements include duties to ensure that charities carry out their purposes and that they manage their resources responsibly so that charities continue to operate for the benefit of the public. Civil society is an important place for the free exchange of views and debate. Our guidance is clear that charities, by the nature of their work, will sometimes raise issues that may be controversial. It is also clear that charities can challenge traditional boundaries. Charities with educational purposes, such as student unions, may further their purposes by arranging events and meetings involving speakers and encouraging debate. This is legitimate, provided that their trustees are able to demonstrate that doing so furthers their charitable purposes and that they have managed associated risks in accordance with their duties. Charity trustees should also ensure that, where relevant, they have appropriate safeguarding policies in place to protect those that come into contact with their charity from harm. Trustees must act within the relevant legal parameters, ensure their charity's activities are not illegal or in breach of equality or human rights law. Beyond this, trustees have broad discretion as to how they fulfill their duties. It is the Commission's role, set by Parliament, to regulate charities in line with the existing law.